It's the picture of convenience, a quick, hot dinner waiting for you at almost every grocery store. But what could be hiding beneath that tempting golden skin? The unsettling truth is, not all rotisserie chickens are created equal. A bad one isn't just a waste of money, it can be a real risk to your health. We're talking about chickens so overloaded with sodium brine it can impact your blood pressure. Chickens that are undercooked, posing a serious risk for foodborne illness. And worst of all, chemical additives and preservatives you would never knowingly feed your family. Your health and your family's safety are too important to leave to chance. That's why we've made this video. We have analyzed thousands of real customer reviews to find the truth behind the rotisserie chickens at major chains across the country. We looked at everything from taste and texture to reports of undercooked, chemical-tasting, or overly salty chickens. Our goal is to help you choose a chicken that's not only delicious and convenient, but one you can actually feel good about eating. Now let's get started with the stores that received the most serious complaints. These are the ones you'll definitely want to hear about first.
11. All right, kicking off our countdown at the very bottom of the list, number 11 is a retail giant, Walmart. Now, looking at the pictures, they look pretty tempting, right? And for under $7 for a nearly 3-pound bird, the price seems unbeatable. A lot of people think, what have I got to lose? Well, according to a mountain of customer reviews, that low price comes at a much higher cost in quality. Here's a major red flag. Even some of the 5-star reviews come with a catch. One person, who gave it 5 stars, said they still have to bake it again when they get home because they don't like pink meat. Doesn't that completely defeat the purpose of a ready-to-eat meal? And when you get to the 1-star reviews, customers do not hold back. The complaints are all over the map. Incredibly dry meat, finding uncooked giblets still inside, and an alarming lack of consistency. Some people report dangerously undercooked pink chicken, while others get birds that are overcooked to the point of being inedible. One customer put it bluntly, "Oversalted, tastes terrible, threw it away." Another on Reddit said they felt creeped out eating it, saying the texture doesn't even look like chicken. Someone even posted a picture of a chicken that was charred beyond recognition. So while the price is tempting, the overwhelming consensus from shoppers is clear. It's a gamble you're very likely to lose. The final advice? Go somewhere else. Have you ever taken the Walmart rotisserie chicken gamble? What was your experience? Let us know in the comments. Coming up next, at number 10, is another huge national chain, one that got absolutely roasted by its own customers on social media. You won't want to miss this.
10. Moving on up, if you can call it that, to number 10 on our list is another household name, Safeway. And for this one, the proof of customer dissatisfaction comes from a pretty embarrassing place, Safeway's own Facebook page. When they posted a video to celebrate National Rotisserie Chicken Day, the comments section didn't exactly go as planned. One customer wrote, "Chickens are so small and usually undercooked. Disappointing." Another called them nasty dry chickens and said they had to drown it in mayonnaise just to make it edible as chicken salad. When you have to resort to a rescue mission like that, you know there's a problem. And if you think these are just a few unlucky customers, the stories over on Reddit are even more concerning. One user said even a fresh bird they bought was so dry, so disappointed. But, as another user pointed out, dry is actually one of the better outcomes. One customer shared this horrifying experience, and I'm quoting directly here. "I purchased a roasted chicken today, and it had cooked long feathers on the wings, and the inside was pink and bloody. I tossed it in the garbage." Feathers! There are just no words. It's no surprise then that in discussions about the best chickens, customers specifically name Safeway as the one to avoid. As one person put it simply, just awful chickens there.
That feather story is hard to forget. Have you had a similar experience at Safeway, or has your local store been better? We want to hear about it. All right, coming up at number 9, we have a store whose chicken is linked to a controversial ingredient that some people claim made them seriously ill. You're going to want to know what it is. 9. All right, we've arrived at number 9. And as I teased, this one comes with a serious health warning from a customer. We're talking about Kroger. Let's start with the most alarming issue. On Kroger's own website, a reviewer claimed they became severely ill after eating one of their chickens. They suspected the culprit was an additive called carrageenan. It's a common preservative, but some people have a known sensitivity to it. The story doesn't stop there, though. It gets even more troubling when it comes to transparency. Another customer pointed out that while carrageenan was listed on the physical label of the chicken they bought, it was nowhere to be found on the ingredient list on Kroger's website. The site has a big disclaimer telling you to read the physical label for the most accurate information, which is fine unless you're ordering your groceries online. How are you supposed to read a physical label on a website? It feels deceptive and puts online shoppers at a disadvantage and at risk. Beyond that major issue, customers on Reddit aren't impressed with the basics either. The common complaints are undercooked, soggy, and generally tasteless chicken. Some customers speculate it's due to new, ineffective ovens, while others blame understaffed departments that are struggling to keep up. Whatever the reason, the result is an inconsistent and potentially risky product. This issue of online ingredients not matching the in-store label is a big deal. Have you ever noticed this with products from Kroger or any other store? Let us know your story. Up next at number 8 is a beloved southern supermarket chain. Their chickens used to be legendary, but recent customer photos of what they found inside their chicken are frankly shocking. Stick around. 8. Coming in at number 8 is a store that breaks a lot of hearts because it used to be a fan favorite. We're talking about Publix. For years, Publix rotisserie chicken was considered top tier. Go back a few years and customers on Facebook raved about it. One fan even wrote, "The only problem with your chickens is they're too good. I have to buy 3 just so my family gets some." But sadly, fast forward to today and the story has changed. The consensus now is that Publix has become completely hit or miss. A big complaint is value. Customers feel like they're paying more for smaller and smaller birds. Adding to the confusion is the inconsistency, with some employees saying the birds are priced per unit, not by weight, while other stores do the opposite. But a shrinking bird is the least of the worries. As we teased, the shocking photos from customers really tell the story. One customer on Reddit posted a photo of their chicken completely raw inside. But the worst part? When they called to complain, they were allegedly told that employees don't check the temperature on every chicken, only some of them. That is a dangerous game of chance to play with your family's dinner. And the quality control issues don't stop there. Another customer got their chicken home only to discover it still had its head attached. It's truly a shame. From once being the gold standard to now delivering inconsistent and sometimes shocking results, Publix lands at a disappointing number 8. If you're a longtime Publix shopper, have you noticed this decline in quality? Or is your local store still living up to the legend? We'd love to know. Up next, at number 7, we have another store where it's a total roll of the dice. Sometimes you get a juicy, tasty bird, but other times, customers complain they can't even find one to buy. Let's see who it is. 7. At number 7, we're sticking with the theme of inconsistency with another southern chain, Winn-Dixie. If there's one phrase that perfectly describes the Winn-Dixie rotisserie chicken experience, it's a roll of the dice. On one hand, you'll find a glowing Yelp review calling it the best in town. But on the other hand, a telling story from Reddit. A user posted about a great juicy chicken they bought from Winn-Dixie and asked for other people's favorites. And literally no one else recommended the store.
It seems a good chicken from there is a rare exception, not the rule. But maybe the biggest complaint isn't even about the chicken itself. It's about being able to find one at all. As we teased, customers repeatedly report that the chickens are often sold out, especially, they note, when there's a sale. This chaos is perfectly reflected on the company's own Facebook page. In a single post, you'll find a dizzying range of comments. Some people praise the amazing flavor and juiciness, while others in the same thread complain that they're too small, too expensive, can't find a plain one, and, you guessed it, they're undercooked. One frustrated customer summed it up perfectly, saying it would be hugely nice if the chicken were actually cooked, like not raw. The last one was not even close. So when it comes to Winn-Dixie, it truly seems to be a complete roll of the dice. Do you shop at Winn-Dixie? Is finding a rotisserie chicken a treasure hunt at your local store? Let us know. All right, we are finally climbing out of the bottom of the barrel. At number 6, we're getting into our first respectable offering from a wholesale club that gives Costco a run for its money. But there's still a catch.
If you're still watching and finding these details valuable, I'd really appreciate it if you'd leave the number 7 in the comments below, just to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you'll consider subscribing and ringing that bell so you don't miss a thing. Your support is what allows us to keep creating helpful content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's get back to it.
6. Okay, as promised, we are officially climbing into the top half of our list. At number 6, we have our first wholesale club and a major competitor to the big guys, BJ's. And this is where the tone of our ranking really starts to shift. BJ's is a genuinely respectable choice, backed by over 9,500 overwhelmingly positive reviews on its website. In fact, customers constantly compare BJ's chicken favorably to the one from Costco, which is high praise in the rotisserie world. I love this one review from Reddit. A user said, "We love the BJ's rotisserie chicken. We buy it mostly for our spoiled but grateful dog, but we eat some of it, and the BJ's is delicious. When it's good enough for the dog and the family, that's a good sign." Overall, customers say it hits all the right notes for a wholesale club chicken. It's a good size, and the price is right. But, as we teased, there's a catch. BJ's isn't perfect, and there are two main complaints that keep it from ranking higher. First, for some people, it's just too bland. As one Redditor put it, BJ's took away all the spices, leaving them with a bird that lacked flavor. But the second complaint is more serious, and it's one we've seen before: undercooked chicken. One customer on Facebook said, and I'm quoting, "I have returned a couple that were raw. It is very dangerous, and I have complained, but no change." That's a huge concern and shows a lack of consistency. So, a solid, respectable choice that's great value, but a roll of the dice on flavor and, more importantly, on being fully cooked. That lands BJ's at number 6. Do you think BJ's chicken is a worthy rival to Costco's? Or do you find it too bland? Let us know your take. All right, the moment many of you have been waiting for. We've mentioned its name a dozen times. Coming in right in the middle of our list at number 5 is the undisputed king of rotisserie chickens. Or is it? The recent reviews for Costco's famous bird are not what you think.
5. Well, here it is, the one we've all been waiting for. Landing squarely in the middle of our list at number 5 is the heavyweight champion, the legend, the icon, Costco. And please, before you head to the comments, remember, we're just the messengers here. We know this is a controversial placement for such a beloved product. Let's be clear, the Costco rotisserie chicken is an institution. They sell so many, over 100 million a year, that they famously opened their own chicken processing plant just to keep up. But lately, a growing number of customers are saying that something has changed, that the chicken just isn't what it used to be. And the complaints are very specific and very strange.
A now famous Reddit thread kicked off a huge debate with this comment: Costco chicken has such a weird smell and taste. It smells like dirty dishwater. And it turns out a lot of people agreed. We saw comments like, "It's disgusting and tastes like chemicals," and "I have to agree on the dirty dishwater smell." Others complained that the chicken was under-seasoned and had a slimy texture, leaving them baffled by its popularity. Now, for every person who says that, there seems to be another who would defend the Costco chicken to their last breath. The Costco subreddits are filled with fans who buy one on every single trip. It is still one of the most recommended and beloved birds out there. And that intense division is exactly why it lands in the middle. With so many people having such strong opposite opinions, it's either the best thing ever or it's a chemical-tasting mess. It's the very definition of a middle-of-the-pack choice. You either love it or you hate it. This is the big one we have to ask. Where do you stand on the great Costco chicken debate? Is it still the undisputed king? Or have you also noticed that dirty dishwater taste? Let the debate begin in the comments. Okay, the debate is on. As we move into our top 4, we're now talking about the chickens that are consistently praised. Coming in at number 4 is a regional store with a cult following, whose chicken is so good, people say you should plan your vacation around visiting.
4. After that heated Costco debate, let's cool things down with some consistent quality as we enter the top 4. And at number 4, we have a store that people are so passionate about, it has a legitimate cult following: Wegmans. Now, Wegmans is a regional chain, mostly in the Northeast with just over 110 stores. And if you don't live near one, we're genuinely sorry because, as the article says, it's the kind of grocery store you should literally plan your vacation around. And their rotisserie chicken is a huge reason why. They offer different varieties like rosemary and barbecue, and customers rank them all consistently high. The reviews are just glowing. People praise them for being tender, always perfectly cooked, and big enough for a whole family. One reviewer summed it up perfectly: "These chickens are just perfect in every regard, well worth the price." So, with reviews like that, you're probably asking, why isn't it number 1? Well, it comes down to 2 key factors that we had to consider for a national ranking. First, accessibility. Since most Americans don't have access to a Wegmans, it's hard to place it at the very top. Second is the price. At $10 or $15 for organic, it's one of the more expensive chickens on our list. Now, fans will argue that it's still a great price for a high-quality family meal, and that's a fair point. But compared to the budget-friendly options, it's a significant step up. So, for its incredible, consistent quality, but held back by its limited reach and higher price point, Wegmans makes a very strong debut in our top tier at number 4. For those of you lucky enough to have a Wegmans nearby, is it worth the hype and the price? Let the rest of us know what we're missing. Coming in at number 3 is a store that shares a lot in common with Wegmans. A higher price tag, but a focus on something many of our viewers are looking for: simpler, cleaner ingredients. Let's see who it is. 3. All right, we've cracked the top 3. Coming in at number 3 is a store that, as I mentioned, shares some DNA with Wegmans. We're talking about Sprouts Farmers Market. Like Wegmans, the chicken at Sprouts is on the pricey side, around $10 or $15 for organic. And customers are quick to point out that the birds are noticeably smaller than the competition. So why are people happily paying more for less? It all comes down to one thing: what's in the chicken, or rather, what's not in it. For health-conscious shoppers, Sprouts is a huge winner. One customer said it best: "I think this is the simplest ingredients list I've stumbled upon thus far." Fans also rave about the lower sodium content, and they say that the chicken itself is so high quality, it's delicious and flavorful without a ton of extra additives. A Redditor explained the trade-off perfectly. They said, "Definitely a smaller bird, but it's more flavorful, and the meat is chewy in a good way. The meat also holds much better in the fridge. That's a huge plus if you're planning for leftovers." So, if your priority is quality over quantity, and you're looking for a chicken with a clean ingredient list that you can feel great about, Sprouts is an outstanding choice, and our number 3 pick. Is that trade-off, paying more for a smaller chicken with cleaner ingredients, worth it to you? Let us know where your priorities lie. We are down to our final 2, the runner-up and our grand champion. One is a well-known high-end market, and the other is a wholesale club that might just shock you. The number 1 rotisserie chicken in America is coming up next. If you're still watching and finding these details valuable, I'd really appreciate it if you'd leave the number 3 in the comments below, just to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you'll consider subscribing and ringing that bell so you don't miss a thing. Your support is what allows us to keep creating helpful content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's get back to it.
2.
We have arrived at our runner-up. Taking the silver medal at number 2 is the well-known high-end supermarket that many of you were probably waiting for, Whole Foods Market. And here's how you know the chicken at Whole Foods is good. The number 1 complaint from both customers and employees is that the kitchen simply can't keep them in stock. When a product is so popular you can't make it fast enough, you're doing something right. And the data backs it up. On Amazon, their chicken has a 4.1-star rating from over 3,000 reviews. That's impressive. So what makes it so popular? First, customers love that it's not overly salty like many other stores' chickens. One reviewer perfectly captured the feeling, saying, "It feels very clean and the price is very reasonable for all that you get." And that's the theme here. A high-quality bird with excellent natural flavor and no questionable additives. Now, is it perfect? Not quite. Some customers did report receiving an undercooked chicken, though many said that after a few more minutes in their own oven, it was delicious. And here's a key pro tip from reviewers. There's a noticeable difference between chickens that are delivered and the ones you buy in store. For the best experience, you'll want to go pick it up yourself. For its incredible popularity, clean ingredients, and great flavor that keeps customers coming back for more, the Whole Foods Market Chicken is a fantastic choice and our solid number 2. Do you agree that the Whole Foods Chicken is worth the trip? Or have you found a big difference between their in-store and delivery birds? All right, this is it, the moment of truth. We've counted down from the worst to the best. We've seen shocking failures and high-quality contenders. Now it's time to reveal our number 1 champion. It's a wholesale club, it has over 32,000 ratings, and it managed to steal away die-hard Costco fans. The best rotisserie chicken in America, according to customers, is 1.
Sam's Club. Surprised? We were too. In a stunning turn of events, a wholesale club has taken the crown. And here's what's so fascinating. While its sister store, Walmart, was at the very bottom of our list, Sam's Club has managed to perfect the rotisserie chicken. What's the proof? They are successfully luring away even the most dedicated Costco fans. One Redditor posted this, and it says everything. I am a die-hard Costco fan, and tonight had my first Sam's Club rotisserie chicken. I was stunned. Am I a traitor? The comments were filled with other secret converts, and the numbers are just undeniable. On the Sam's Club website, their chicken has a staggering 4.7-star rating from over 32,000 reviews. So what makes it number 1? First, the size and value are incredible. Reviewers say one chicken is big enough for several meals, making it a huge money saver. But it's not just big. Customers rave that it's tender, juicy, and delicious. And in this economy, fans are incredibly grateful that Sam's Club hasn't jacked up the price. The reviews say it all. Best rotisserie chicken around, and the value is still enormous. but my personal favorite is the 5-star review with a simple 2-word title, Get Chicken. For its massive size, incredible value, consistent taste, and an army of loyal fans, including former rivals, the Sam's Club rotisserie chicken is, according to customers, the undisputed champion.
And there you have it, from the absolute worst to the surprising new champion. What have we learned today? That not all rotisserie chickens are created equal, and that sometimes the most popular choice isn't always the best one. The most important thing is to be an informed shopper, to read labels, and to know what you're feeding your family. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the world of grocery store rotisserie chickens. The conversation doesn't end here. The comments section is now yours. We want to know, do you agree with this list? Did we miss your favorite? What's your #1 pick? Let's build a community resource for everyone. If you found this video helpful and want more honest, customer-driven rankings, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out. Until next time, happy shopping, and may your next rotisserie chicken be a great one.